So that's $6 multiplied by 357. That's one of your case studies. So that's $2,142. We literally saved $2,142 in ad spend. Okay, so that's a really good question. And I think most course creators tend to fall into the same trap, right? To showing one testimonial after another. They try to bombard people with testimonials. And then they wonder why their program is not converting, right? They ask themselves, like, I have tons of testimonials. Why do people don't want to buy my program? And it's not because of the testimonials. Testimonials are good, but what people are actually looking for, I know this for a fact because I'm also a copywriter for sales pages. So I know that people are not looking for the wins. Technically, they are attracted by the wins, but what they're looking for is the how behind the win. And it's not just the how behind the win. They want to know the how. Most course creators, they do that. They show the how behind the win. But then again, I also know that's also not enough. Because one of the biggest objections that we face each and every single time as someone who sells programs and courses is the question, can I also do this? Right? I know you can do it because you're this. I know you can do it because you're that. She can do it because she's awesome. He can do it because he's a graduate, they have all these reasons. They try to to justify why these people are there and why they are at the place that they're at. So one of the biggest questions for them is, if they can do it, can I do it as well? And most of the time, the answer is yes. But they can't see it if we just put in a when and the how. So with your case studies, what I love about it is that you showcase the before part, wherein they're struggling, they're also a call center agent, they're also an employee, they're also a mom. It gives something people can relate to. That's why we don't just deal with regular testimonials and not just how they've done it. It's the story behind it, like how they rose through the ashes and became like a phoenix or whatever. So that's the biggest reason for me, like why I don't just use regular testimonials. My course was doing fine. We're getting 100 students each and every launch, a couple of hundred each and every launch. It's working fine. But here's a big but. Without testimonials, with with the case studies, right? I mean, the moment that we remember the last launch in June, we focus their attention on those case studies, like one case study, one case study, one case study, and then boom, thousands of students. So it's not even comparable, like hundreds of students to thousands in one enrollment. In fact, it was so successful that we literally stopped enrollment for the full year, right? So I don't think it's even comparable. Uh, so it's not even how was it. It's like the question in my head was, why haven't we done it since day one, right? So that's the biggest question. But yeah, that's a difference from hundreds to thousands. For me, 1,400 students. That's crazy. I'm not literally a a course creator per se. My business is copywriting. However, one of the biggest mistakes that I'll make, or I made before, was to do everything by myself. See, knowing you can do it doesn't mean you have to do it. It takes a lot of of mental space just to think about, oh my god, I'm gonna write another case study. And it's not that easy to write a case study, right? So it's not that easy. It takes mental space. And the last thing I want to do is to focus on doing that when there's someone who's perfectly capable, who can do it. So it's for me, it's more about not just saving time. And well, of course, if you save time, you save money. But not just that, it also gave me more freedom, mental space wise, to do things that I'm good at, like on the marketing side of things, and on the email. At least I can focus on that, which I think I couldn't have done if I was thinking about what am I gonna write for this email, and then, and then what am I gonna be doing as a case study, right? Like it just takes a load off my plate. So that's the biggest challenge actually. I wasn't really expecting like a lot. It's not because of I'm not. It's not because I'm not expecting anything from you. Rather, it's more of I haven't really seen anyone a copywriter who focuses on case studies. Right? It's more of
Mhm.
like a copywriter who does sales pages, copywriter who does emails. But uh, I think you're the only one I know who focuses on case studies, other than the other guy who I can't remember the name. But yeah. So when I worked with you, it wasn't. I was really surprised with the depth that you went the first time you submitted your work. Uh, I was surprised with the depth, because I actually thought it's just gonna be like a few words for each segment, but to get those quotes that took initiative, uh, and then go in depth for each section of their journey. I was impressed. Like I'm gonna admit that wasn't something I was looking for, but it was a very nice surprise. So yeah, so there. And like I said, you're good. I mean, we only like if I'm counting it, we only did some edits on the first three, four, if I'm not mistaken. And then after that, you were pretty much doing it by yourself. Like it doesn't no longer needs my feedback and all that. Aside from the conversion side of things, helping the launch, not a lot of people know this, but on the case studies that you're writing, you have that call to action, right in the at the end of the case study. So far, if I'm not mistaken, in one of the case studies that you've written, you've driven 357 plus leads in that case study. That's us not doing anything. So we didn't spend anything for ads. It's just there on the site. It has 357 plus leads, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm doing the math, right? If I'm doing the math right now, um, back then, each lead that goes to the wait list was, let's say, 297 pesos, or $6. So that's $6 multiplied by 357. That's one of your case studies. So that's $2,142. We literally saved $2,142 in ad spend. So I'm not sure if businesses know the get the idea of how impactful this is in their business. But if one case study can save you something like this, imagine what having five of them, or seven, or 10, right? So I was just about to say, like, I mean, we wouldn't keep getting your services if you're not saving us money. That's right. So I think it's a very fair exchange. So there. Number one, because you already know how to write case studies, that elicits the emotion. Let me give you an example. One of the case studies that you wrote, I think it's for Gina. It's still getting comments as of this day. The one that we posted on Facebook, it's still getting comments as of these days. So as of today, it's still generating shares and comments and extra traffic. and that's us not really doing anything. I mean, we're lazy with our with our retargeting and marketing, but having these case studies and the comments that you read in there, it's more like I felt this. Uh, I resonate with your story. It's not about congratulations. It's a big win. It's not that. It's more like you inspired me. Uh, and if there's one thing that I know when it comes to selling, it's the emotion, right? You sell using emotion. So if we can make people feel inspired, they can relate to the story. They feel that um, their success is about to come because they saw someone do it, under the same conditions that they're in. Then it just means that it's doing its part in converting more students or more believers to our cause. So, so that's why I would definitely recommend your services. In fact, like I mentioned earlier before we started, you know, uh, talking, was that I was about to recommend you to someone else. Right? So yeah, definitely won't hesitate. Like if you're a course creator, program creator, if you're listening to this right now, if you're not getting married to regular case studies, there's a good chance you're missing or leaving a lot of money on the table. And for us, that's $2,100 in just one case study alone. That's how much we're leaving on the table. So I, I can't imagine just burning that amount away by not hiring Mary.